Welcome viewers and listeners in my today's National Education Day celebration, which is celebrated on November 11. I am Dr. S. Rizwan Ahmad from the University Department of English, Vinoba Bhave University, Hazaribagh. Every year on November 11, National Education Day is observed to solemnize the birth anniversary of India's first education minister, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. The entire nation honors the contributions made by him on this day. He remained as the Education Minister of India from the 15th of August to the 22nd of February 1958 when he breathed his last. Maulana Azad was highly respected throughout his life as he led a life of integrity. National Education Day was officially announced by the Ministry of Human Resource Development in 2008 to celebrate our Honorable First Education Minister. Maulana was born in the holy city of Mecca, Saudi Arabia in 1888 and grew up to be one of the prominent leaders of the Indian independence movement in the late 20th century, fighting against the British rule. His full name is Maulana Sayyid Abul Kalam Ghulam Muhyiddin Ahmad bin Khairuddin Hussaini, but he was popularly known as Maulana Azad, and he is also known for his self-taught education. He rose to prominence through his work. In 1992, he was posthumously awarded the Bharat Ratna by the Indian government. Maulana was an avid reader, and at the age of 12, he established a library at his home and had formed a debating society. He grew up to be extensively interested in journalism and started his first poetic journal with a poem named Nairange Alam. In his late teens, he began to publish an Urdu newspaper in Calcutta named Al Hilal, meaning the crescent. This newspaper was used as a weapon to attack the British policies. Abul Kalam Azad started another weekly named Al Balagh after Al Hilal was banned by the Britishers because of its immense popularity among the Muslim community. In 1960, he was imprisoned and sent to Ranchi in exile. There he laid the foundation of what is now called Maulana Azad College. At the age of 20, he went on a tour of Iraq, Syria and Egypt and met the young Turks and Arab nationalists. He did study at the famous Al-Azhar University, Cairo, Egypt. He was well versed in Arabic, Urdu, English, Persian, Bengali and Hindi. Yes, he was a polyglot. His famous book, India Wins Freedom, was released after his death. Almost all educational institutions in the country mark the day with seminars, symposia, essay writing, elocution, competitions, workshops and rallies and banner cards and slogans on the importance of literacy and the nation's commitment to all the aspects of education. Maulana's belief in education was such that he regarded his schools as laboratories that can produce the brilliant minds of the future. He stood for a learning society through liberal, modern and universal education, combining the humanism of Indian arts and the rationalism of Western sciences, a society where the strong are just and the weak are secure. All educational programs, he said, must be carried out in strict conformity with secular values and constitutional framework. He even laid great emphasis on girls' education and why every woman of our nation needs to be educated for all the civil rights. He even introduced vocational training and technical education to the students. It was he, as the first education minister of independent India, who opened the IIT Kharagpur in 1951 and continued to establish IITs in various parts of India. He played a vital role in establishing Jamia Millia Islamia in Okhla, New Delhi. It was he who founded the India Council for Technical Education and also the famous University Grants Commission in 1956, the rules and regulations of which every university of India follows. Had he been alive today, he would have opened a chain of institutions of excellence which would have taught subjects like robotics and artificial intelligence and would have led on to a great height these new fields of study. Many cultural and literary academies were established during Azad's tenure, like Sahitya Academy, Lalit Kala Academy, Sangeet Natak Academy, and the Indian Council for Cultural Relations. He was an anti-imperialist and he became the president of Indian National Congress at the tender age of 35 in 1923. And again in 1940 at the Ramgarh Congress. Actually, he started his political career with the Khilafat movement with the early brothers, but he came very close with Mahatma Gandhi during India's struggle for freedom. He strongly believed in composite culture and was an avowed believer of secularism. He strongly fought for Hindu-Muslim unity. Secular to the marrow of his bones, Maulana's advice to all his students was bury communalism once for all. He stood with full force against two-nation theory of Muhammad Ali Jinnah and repeatedly convinced the Muslims to stay in India and not to go to Pakistan. Now, what are the lessons? What conclusion should we draw from the life and teachings of Maulana Azad? We still have a lot to learn from the leaders like Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, who completely metamorphosed the face of India with introduction of necessary education. We Indians should remember his famous quote, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world," and should keep on working for the educational advancement of our country. We are all Indians and should not hate or separate one another on the basis of religion, caste or language. Now, schools, colleges and universities should act as a catalyst for promoting peace, love and equality among all Indians. They must inculcate human love among the people. At the end, I would like to conclude with this couplet. Kahan ho tum chale aao mohabbat ka taqaza hai, कहाँ हो तुम चले आओ मोहब्बत का तकाजा है, गमे दुनिया से घबरा कर तुम्हें दिल ने पुकारा है, गमे दुनिया से घबरा कर तुम्हें दिल ने पुकारा है. Thank you for listening and watching my video.